thank Planning Board. We have submitted a proposal that is called Stirrup. It's a new scheme. Science and technology intervention, incubation and research for raising startups. Because based on the hypothesis that most of the startups, failed startups, are failing because of lack of robust design. So they need to be given proper S&T intervention, incubation, hand-holding and necessary support. And in this 23-24 financial year, 250 lakh rupees is sanctioned by the State Planning Board, and we are going to start this scheme in this financial. This is of course an early announcement that I am giving you, and thanks to the Planning Board for understanding its importance. And of course, with Startup Mission, we can collaborate on this and we can do a lot of things. Thank you. Maybe I will give more information.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good evening all. I am Dr. Nisha Bharti. I am from Symbiosis Institute of International Business, and we run MBA program. And just taking a little back from that previous session, that one thing is that startups are being encouraged in today's context. There is a lot of support available. Opportunities are unlimited. And regarding the college and all, I'll just agree with Dr. Preeti that the thing is that in all these colleges, if you look at, we name the placement cell as placement cell and not the career development cell. The thing is that we are not focusing on entrepreneurship as an option itself. And that mindset is changing. It will change, but it will take a little time because we have started working on Startup India and all that. Now coming to this session, that is opportunities and financial support. Now financial support, you have seen that a lot has been talked about various schemes and all that. I don't know how many of you have seen the website of Startup India. That's startupindia.com. Just if you have not seen, please go there and look at the website. What you will find is that there is no area where financial support is not available. Every area there is financial support available, and almost in many of the schemes in infrastructure and all that, you will see that almost 75% subsidy is also available for those kind of projects. But still finance is a challenge. Why? And the reason which I could see is that the investors, be it angel investor, be it venture capital finance companies, or even the banks and all that, they don't trust startups that whether they will succeed or not. And there has been a lot of talk from the morning that these things are not succeeding or what. One major point what I feel is that they don't test the water. Before getting into the market, have you done a market research, a little small market research also? Because many of the startups have failed because either they didn't go for market research, or if they did it with a wrong sample. Their sample respondent were not proper. So that way, I'll just classify these things in two things, not only startups but as stakeholder, what we should do to promote startups. The first thing for startup is that before getting into the startup, please conduct a small market research also, that will help you. The second aspect, the B plan. When you approach any investor, the thing is that your plan should be in a very structured format. When I start teaching my course in first semester only, I ask my students that take a random idea, jot down your thought and try to learn that how to prepare a B plan. Because B plan is something which gives confidence to the investor that even assumption, it is all assumption, but if realistic assumption is there, that investor will gain confidence that your business will succeed and your chances of getting financial support will increase. Now, if I move ahead, another factor which I have felt is that you lack visibility. That lot of startups are doing very good work, but it is nowhere mentioned, nowhere covered in any of the public domain. I can understand that everybody cannot go to Shark Tank, but one thing is that there is social media which has become a very strong tool. So please, what you can do is that small write-up about your work, if you can share in these public forums, that will help you gain visibility in the market, and that definitely helps in getting even financial support. Further, if I talk about the stakeholder, like we supporting institute, not only startup but supporting institute should also work on promoting startup. There has not been work which has been going on, but still I feel there is some gap. Like I was just going through a lot of information, and what I could feel is that for startups, you go for finance to this person, you go for technology to this institute, you go for skill to this institute, but there is no one-stop solution which is available for startups. So I feel that there should be some advocacy regarding this, that we can have a one-stop solution for these kind of support. Because for our daily need also, we want to go to shopping mall where we can just get everything at one place. Why not for startups also? So that will definitely help. And I think I'm taking more time. So this is the last point which I strongly feel is that in the previous session also there has been discussion on the performance of startup. But what I feel is that in terms of performance analysis as such, we have no defined metrics. And startups are at a very different stages. So life cycle wise, if we can have some metrics defined, that if this startup is working on a good part or not, or maybe if they are lacking, on what aspect they are lacking. That we did, I think you will agree, for that SSG bank linkage program, we had that grading sheet and all that. That was very helpful in identifying that where this SSG is lacking. Whereas for startup, life cycle wise, at least we should have some performance metrics. For that we need some ground research from social science background and all that. For SMEs, I am working on this topic along with my PhD scholar, but this is again a grey area which can be taken up as research, and that will definitely help in creating lot of opportunities and financial support for startup. So I just stop here. Maybe if required, I'll come back again.
We'll come back to the panelists for one more round of discussion. But I think we have some idea about the amount of capital that is available. So we already heard about 25 lakhs and 50 lakhs that Ajit Prabhu sir has offered, and Sharath has already given a general idea about the grants and schemes that are available, right? I would like to add a little bit on to the specific things that we have as part of Startup Mission. So if you have an idea that you want to implement, you can go to grants.startupmission.in and apply for an idea grant. That idea grant will give you 3 lakhs if approved by a technical committee. From that 3 lakhs, you could go all the way to 15 lakhs to take that product, create a product and take it to the market. That is the maximum support that we will give through productization grants. But the first step to get into the Startup Mission financing or grant ecosystem is grants.startupmission.in. 100% grant. So up to 15 lakhs, it's all grant basically. We haven't taken equity as of yet, but next. No, this is only for Kerala. For other states also, Tamil Nadu actually takes equity for this grant. We might also start doing it, but at this point of time, it's a grant, right? So anything that can happen within 15 lakhs, if you have a reasonable product that is approved by a technical committee, you will get up to 15 lakhs. From there on, you have to go into for a government grant, you have to go into a KFC or a KSIDC. KSIDC kind of gives, I think, 20 to 50 lakhs in seed grant. Is it grant or loan? Loan. It's a soft loan for, I think, now 5% interest. So it's a good credit that you can take. And if you're not able to repay, then I think your company, it will be a convertible, wherein your equity will be taken by KSIDC. There's an agreement that is in place. Now, if you don't want to part with your equity at that point of time, or rather, want to look at the free money, like Sharath said. I was amazed. There was one Dr. Seema from CMET Trishul. the Center for Material Sciences. And we were having a discussion in Sahodaya College where we were launching a Women Research Incubation Program. And we asked her the question of, until what kind of money can you get in the form of grant? And she said 50 crores. I had no idea. I told her that you should actually write it all down and give it to us. But we are in the process of compiling all this, because depending on who you engage with, whether you're engaging with a Cochin shipyard or a DRDO or an NPOL, because some of these public sector organizations has got large, deep pockets for supporting these startups. You might be able to get into that. That's another option. But the point that I'm trying to make is that do not, if you see capital as a problem, I mean, we have this discussion with Nitish all the time, right? We will be able to find something. You need to keep at it. Don't get dejected. There is capital. Only thing is that it sometimes takes time to come back and, get all the paperwork done and all that stuff. Then there is what is called the venture capital ecosystem or the angel ecosystem, wherein you will have to part with your company. You will have to give 10% or 20%. There is no standard rule of thumb. But some amount of your company that you need to part in order to get investment into your company. These are some of the things that one could think about when it comes to capital. I'm going to take a brief pause here and see if there are any questions in terms of fundraising. I saw that there is a lot of people who wanted to be entrepreneurs. Is there any questions in terms of fundraising that comes to your mind? Then I'm sure the panel would be able to answer. Otherwise, I'll go back and ask some of the questions in their areas of expertise.
My name is Vivin Thomas. I am from Medical District of Kerala. I am a proprietary business owner. The brand name is Spiced Organics. We handle jackfruit in bulk quantities. We are loading jackfruit to North India. Almost we handle 40 tons of jackfruit per day for vegetable use. That means to Delhi, Bhopal and those markets. And the thing is that my business break even the first day, because the investor have paid me the money, the buyer paid me the money, and I supplied him the material, entire money was settled, and my business break even the same day. That happened. And my advice is this one: go for trade before making an investment in huge machineries, R&D, this and that. If you want to find something, because just say jackfruit, you just trade jackfruit, then you try to make byproducts out of it. When it comes to byproducts, you need machineries, you need technology, you need people, you need funds. When trading, the buyer will give you the money. You just collect the material, just put your margin in, sell it. That is the easiest way to get into an idea of entrepreneurship. Means from my idea, this is my idea, and people are saying that I am not getting loans. I am not getting loans. Only if your CIBIL score and all the criteria given by the bank, if you can meet all those criteria, you are going to get a loan. Otherwise, you won't. Means the many people who are not into the situation, they may not have all these. They may not met all these requirements. Only this means I just want to ask a question, because for a group like a power producer company can be a part of Kerala Startup Mission.
Yeah. So technically, I think in my previous speech I mentioned what we define as a startup. That is, if you use technology to transform a product, process, or a business model, so that there is an exponential growth. So trading does not fall under our area of expertise, to be very frank.
No, sir. Means if a group of people who are ready to, who are in focus, because FPOs, if they are planning to make a retort product out of jackfruit,
right?
Like can Startup Mission support them?
Yes. If there is an element of technology. So if it is just an adoption, like I'll go back to the chips example all the time. She was actually talking to me about the chips. So if I'm making jackfruit chips, right, then it's only an adoption. I'm not adapting anything. Somebody else is also making the same thing. and you're also making the same thing. Startup Mission has no role to play.
If it
But-
is having a innovation,
Exactly. So
Some-
yeah.
no, it can continue because
whatever, if FPOs are there, they are the group of farmers. If they can innovate some nutritional products out of your jackfruit, definitely I think CEO may extend that this one. So there are lot of opportunities are there. Only is the way is required. Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Because we are making we are vegan products out of jackfruit. Means
No,
with the help of this FPO.
See, one is for retroad pouching is a mature technology right now, right? It's already available in the market for years now. So you're basically trying to, it's a packaging technology where we are trying to extend the life of the product without adding any
without adding any
preservatives.
preservatives,
Yeah.
yes.
So there is no innovation per se. That is, the innovation happened in the packaging, it happened in the lab level. But you're basically buying that technology and making it as a product option for a different customer segment. For that, why Startup Mission? See, when we look at projects, why different agencies are being created is because Startup Mission is supporting entrepreneurs who will not have the business plan to support their lending. If you need a business plan, most of the blocks are filled. You know, because the bank lending happens based on the fixed capital.